4.
So 5.
3.
Oh.
2. 1.
Did you guys come back to join us to hear about our horrible,
vacations?
I don't know what we have. Just don't invite us on Actually, when it's friends, they seem to go well. Our vacations seem to go well.
We have friends.
But when they're family vacations or just our family vacations, there is always something. So
Shit gets cray.
Yeah, we have to start with our wedding. And if you know us, then you know that our wedding was
a disaster.
It was a disaster. There's no way of putting that nicely.
No.
So
overall, the trip was great.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But the wedding day, fucking disaster.
So Casey and I got married in the Bahamas. We decided to do a destination wedding because I have a very large family and Casey has a very small family. And so we just thought our immediate family and a couple of friends will travel to the Bahamas because neither of us had been out of the country.
Nope.
And we'll take a honeymoon week vacation wedding. And I don't even know where to begin, but I will say that while we were in the Bahamas, it was amazing. The parasailing, the snorkeling, the jet skiing ish. Not with you, but jet skiing in general.
You got a little skittish on the jet ski.
They all went swimming with sharks. I stayed on the boat.
We went
to Atlantis. We did so many new things for us. And so many great experiences. And the entire week was a dream. It was
great.
It was amazing.
It was great.
Except when it came to our actual wedding day. But before we get to our wedding day, we have to mention that we had 2 wedding planners that had canceled. One lost her job, and then the other one got very sick, which was sad. So we were on our 3rd wedding planner. I was not in my right mind when I chose a ball gown as a wedding dress to get married in on the beach. And they had to resize the dress 5 or 6 times. It still didn't fit like it was supposed to. So there was a whole bunch of little things. Everybody has those when they get married. So it happens. You go with the flow. But then come the day of our wedding, we were down there for 7 days, and it didn't rain at all.
Where we fucked up was the day before. They asked us, "You want to we were gonna do a mock wedding, like a rehearsal?"
Yeah.
And we're no, we're in the Bahamas. It's gonna be great no matter what.
Yeah.
So in the middle of the of going around town and doing everything, we just said, "Fuck it, let's go back and spend time with our family, and it'll be fine."
Well, even then, they still didn't have a backup. Okay.
No, they didn't have a backup plan. But we also didn't go through
we
the
didn't
rehearsal.
go through any of the motions or and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, what Casey and
none of it would have helped the fact that we the plan B was non-existent.
Right. Okay. So we have to back up a little bit. Casey and we had the option to do a rehearsal. And we decided that, you know what, at the end of the day, we're marrying each other. And that was the only thing that truly mattered. So we weren't going to spend our entire, it was an all day or an all afternoon thing.
The way we saw it was, we're in the Bahamas and we're going to spend a whole day away from our family, away from doing all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
By just doing a rehearsal.
To practice what we're going to do tomorrow.
When you're in the States, it's not as big of a deal.
Right.
But it was our honeymoon and wedding all in one. So
right. So come wedding day, and I don't even know where to begin. It was okay. So first of all, it's raining.
Me, you know where it started for me?
What?
I was getting ready in Matt and Amy's hotel room.
Yeah.
And I drank lavender. So apparently they just put lavender in water bottles. So I put my water bottle down next to another one and decided to take a drink. So the rest of the trip, I tasted lavender, which was not
totally
fun
forgot about
at
that.
all. That was when you all were on your essential oils kicks.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that, and that's disgusting.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
it
it was-
tastes like laundry soap.
It didn't taste good.
No,
Not at all.
it doesn't. But that does suck.
So that's where it started for me.
What was next?
Everyone went down to the
Okay,
lobby.
so you have to back up because then we have all of what happened in our room that you weren't there for. So there was there was a group of about 5 women who came in to do my grandmother's hair and makeup, my mom's hair and makeup, and then my sister's and my other bridesmaid, who's like a sister, all of our hair and makeup, and they all start and my mother-in-law, and they all started with my grandma, and it. Oh, good Lord. When I say that we looked like ladies of the night, that was how my grandfather put it. Like, he said, I mean, I don't mean to be rude. You guys are beautiful, but you look like ladies of the night. So I said, I'm not picky. I just want to look beautiful, and I don't want my hair slicked to one side, and I don't want bright lipstick. Those are the 2 requirements of what I didn't want to look like.
And
so
that's
there
what
are a multitude of options that you could use. And we got married at 5. Our wedding was supposed to start at 5. They didn't start on me until 4:30. And I remember getting closer and closer to 5 and thinking, like, if we don't get down there, like, he's going to think I stood him up. Like, I was so nervous.
But where would you go?
Nowhere. I don't know. I just was nervous.
He's going to think that I left the island.
Yeah, like, I went home. No, I don't. I just was nervous about that. And you know me. It's 5 o'clock. If I'm not down there at, like, 4:45, I'm anxious. Like, I am an on-time person. And so it just, I don't know. I was super anxious about it. So I said, I don't want my hair slicked back, and I don't want bright lipstick on. So I ended up with my hair slicked to the side, like all to the side, and I look like a prostitute. Like, I just straight up, my makeup was hideous. I did not feel pretty, but now it's like 5:15. We have to get down there. It's pouring cats and dogs. Like, just, if you could imagine somebody standing at the roof of the hotel and just pouring buckets of water down, that's what it looked like. And we get down there at what, like 5:15ish, and the lady's standing there, and we're like, so what do we do? We're supposed to get married outside on the beach, and it's downpouring. And she's like, well, good news is, rain is good luck for your marriage. Bad news is the hotel is under renovation, and I don't have a backup plan. Like, there was no backup plan. So we're like, well, what do we do? And she was like, give me 10 minutes and we'll figure something out. 10 minutes go by, and this lovely wedding planner, whom we paid money to plan this wedding for, set up chairs in a hallway. Like, I said that right. A hallway of a renovated hotel, empty, but being renovated.
Yeah, no, it was
in this hallway, and like, you just had chairs sitting down, and then when I looked out to Casey, there was glass behind him with a whole bunch of construction tape and men with no shirts on, like just dreadlock ponytails, jackhammering the cement. All the while, I'm gonna walk down the hallway
with some rap music.
Yes, with the rap music.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big part of it. And then we exchange our vows.
I couldn't understand the fucking...
Yes. That night is when we found that out. You were like, said something like...
ID wed.
No,
or some shit.
You said something. You didn't... or you said I do way too soon, or something like that. I can't remember.
Because
But it
I
was a
couldn't fucking
mess.
understand him. And to back up, and I don't know if I've ever told you this, but after I drank the lavender water, which I don't know what the fucking point of lavender water is, but Matt had asked me if I was going to cry. And like, I had like no crying feelings. I'm like, holy shit, I'm a serial killer. Like, I have no like crying emotions.
No, I remember asking you that too. Like, I feel like all the
But
girls
I don't cry,
see
like-
those, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
they see the photos of the guy, like, yeah, and
Or
he's
those
crying.
fucking stupid Facebook videos of the guy like bawling his eyes out, and
It's cute, but it's not you. It's not you.
I
knew
this is
that.
an ice box.
No, it's not. No. It's not an ice box. It's just not a crying box.
There's a few times that I cry, and I save those for bad situations.
This is true.
But anyways, back to the hallway wedding with
the hallway
gangster
wedding
rap.
that we paid good money
Yeah,
to get
well.
married in the Bahamas on the beach. We got married in a renovated hotel hallway with a man that we could not understand. Like, to this, I remember Sadie being like 1 year old, and she'd be poopy, and I'd be like, it's your turn. I'd be like, no, it's your turn. And then we would constantly joke, like, you vowed that you would change all poopy diapers. You don't know because you couldn't
Yeah.
understand him, but that's what you vowed to do.
Yeah.
Like, it just, it was a mess. Anyway, so then we go, it's finally like the rain lightens up, and we go outside.
It was like right after the wedding too. It was like just like
It was so weird.
like as soon as the wedding was done, rain cleared, hot as shit.
Yeah, hot. And I'm like, I'm in a heavy ball gown. Again, my mistake. I understand this now. But we are outside under a gazebo with loads of under construction orange tape. And why don't you talk about our DJ and our wedding cake?
So the DJ didn't know where we were from. He kept on saying, did he even know our name?
No, he just kept saying, like,
It's the so-and-so from Idaho.
Ohio!
No,
I thought it was Ohio.
I thought you said Idaho.
And then
Ohio,
I think we told
maybe.
him, and then he changed it to Ohio.
Yeah,
Like, no, we're from Iowa.
he never did get it right.
No, he didn't.
And again,
And
it was
100
hot.
times he said it, I
Yeah,
swear.
no, he kept on doing it. I'm not going to get into that.
What?
Well, we'll get into it. So, it was hot. Our cake is melting. Like, it looks like one of the Pinterest, like the failed attempts at a cake. So we paid for a DJ, and my brother loves reggae music, so
Oh,
he
I totally forgot
decides
about this.
he decides to be the DJ, even though we paid for a DJ. He decides to hook up his iPod and start playing his music.
I totally forgot about that.
But one of the positive things, the food was good.
the food was amazing.
So we had what? We had conch.
No, we had grouper.
Oh, grouper.
Grouper or steak.
It was grouper or steak. I
And
think
the
I
grouper
got
was really
the
good.
grouper was good, and the steak was good too.
Yeah.
We had open bar.
But
Which was not
that
good.
was supposed to go until
Yeah.
1 o'clock in the morning, and by 9 o'clock, I had gone upstairs around 9-ish.
We both did. So
to change.
yeah, because it was hot. So
It
we
was so
both
hot.
we both actually changed into our. It's all coming back. So the DJ wasn't playing my brother's music. You and I went up to change, and then when we came down, the DJ was like nowhere to be found, and Jake's sitting there with his iPod
Yes.
playing music. All the drinks are gone. Like
They
they had like a
folded
little
all the chairs.
yeah, they had like a little dolly where the drinks came out of. That's gone. We start talking to our family, like, hey, what's going on? They're like, they just took our drinks. Like, we just, like, in the middle of drinking, they're like, hey, take that.
Just took them. Like, once they had already made.
Yeah.
And then started folding up the chairs. And it's like 9:30, maybe.
I don't
And the
even
wedding
think-
was supposed to end at 1. I feel like everybody in our wedding party was done with the wedding by 10. Like, we were probably in our room.
Yeah.
All of us were probably in our room by 10:30.
Yeah, no, we were. But I feel like it was sooner.
It might have been.
I feel like it was like 7 o'clock. They just cleaned up everything. They decided, hey, you guys are done.
I just remember being like, I had one drink. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was it was very bizarre that they
and the worst
came
thing
and cleaned
is
house.
That we didn't, I'm getting ahead of myself, but we didn't say anything.
No, we
like
didn't.
the Ashley and Casey of today,
Yeah.
we would have had
didn't
that
say
wedding for
anything.
free.
We didn't say a word. We paid for all of that. But you know what? I'm going to hold true to at the end of the day, we got married. And that was the important part. And we definitely have a story to tell.
We have a story to tell, but...
And then like 3 days later, a hurricane came. Like, I don't know if that...
Remember? Because when the last day we were there, we didn't know if we would go home.
Yeah.
I remember sitting out on the balcony, and it was just dark. Thinking, like, are we going to even go home?
I remember it being a little, like... I was weary. Nervous. I was nervous.
I didn't drug you, so you weren't weary.
No, I was nervous that because of how much it was raining, and then all of the locals were nervous about it too. But there was a whole bunch of different like little weird things that occurred, and I bet if we sat down and truly thought about it, we could come up with 100 more things that happened. It just like I remember laying in bed that night.
Not involved with the wedding, but remember when we were on the jitney?
Photographer too? I'm sorry.
I think the photographer was shit.
It was bad. Our photographer, Amy, took better pictures with her little Nikon camera than our photographer did.
But you remember when? So we got there 3 or 4 days early.
Yeah.
So we were, Scotty had lost his wallet.
I remember that.
And then they found it, and somehow, like someone honest called us. So we took a jitney to go get the wallet, or when we were on the jitneys and we decided to take a detour through the hood of the Bahamas, and we're all like, holy shit! Like we're gonna have to fight our way out of this.
That was nerve-wracking.
Because we legit stopped in the middle, like as we're going through the hood, there was like a traffic jam, and we just stopped.
Well, he took a weird turn. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're all like, oh shit, we're gonna have to fight our way out of this.
Yeah, I remember being really nervous. And Jack was 2, or almost 2. And
he was.
He had just he was.
He was
almost
1
2.
and a half.
No,
or not 1 and a half.
We got married on the 20th, and
no,
his birthday's on the 30th.
He wasn't quite 2.
Yeah, he was 10 days shy of being 2. So
10 days shy. So he was basically 2.
He was basically 2, and I just remember being super nervous. But in a nutshell, the Bahamas was amazing.
It was good.
We have gone back since via cruise.
Kinda, yeah.
But I would go back. Like I would vacation again. I just don't know that we would.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. Like I'm a fan of the resorts.
Yeah.
But it's annoying, and maybe I just need to get used to it. But like when we went on the cruise, as soon as we get off the cruise ship and we're walking through, it's like they're hassling you to buy something from them.
Yeah.
Take their taxi.
Well, that's how they make.
I know.
Money.
It's annoying. But speaking of the cruise, should we talk about that?
The cruise was a fiasco.
Leading
the cruise itself was great.
Yeah.
But leading up to going, we weren't even sure we were going to be able to go. So the cruise, this is a whole separate vacation, guys. That was the wedding in a nutshell. We decided last year.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last year that we were going to take the kids on a Disney cruise with my family. And Sadie got the norovirus and ended up in the hospital for like 2 or 3 days. We were leaving on Sunday. She got discharged from the hospital on Saturday.
Because this is how it happened. Because I was taking my real estate license.
Yes.
I passed it on either Tuesday or Wednesday. The night that I came home, you were getting your hair done by Kaylee. So I came home, and it was Jack. Jack was sick first.
Jack got sick first, but he didn't go to the hospital.
So
and then come Thursday, she got sick.
Yeah, so I came home. It was like Wednesday. from passing my test, because I passed the test. Came home. Jack was sick. Kaylee had came over. The next day, went to work. We both went to work all day, but when we came home, it was getting bad. Then Sadie got sick. Thursday, stayed home from school. Friday, said that. Friday, I think, yeah, we took her in. She got admitted to the hospital.
Yes, it was Friday. Because her oxygen was low and she was dehydrated. So they kept her overnight, hydrated her, and then I stayed with her. You went home with Jack.
And then
you stayed.
Anyway. I remember talking to you, like as I was coming up to the hospital, getting ready to pick you guys up. You're like, I don't feel good. You guys went to go get your nails done.
Yes.
And then you came home, and at that point you were not feeling good. All that night you were throwing up. It was liquids coming out of all ends.
Thank you for sharing
You're welcome.
that. It was it was the stomach flu times 10. It sucked.
And speaking of how you prepare, Sunday morning comes, we haven't packed at all.
No.
We haven't packed at all. And I'm like, hey Ash, like, what do you want me to pack you? I'm trying to do my best to help out. And you're like, I don't think I can make it. I don't think I can make it.
Normally, I would pack like a week in advance, but because the kids were sick and I was in the hospital, I couldn't pack. Saturday, 3 doctors had to clear Sadie to get out. Mm-hmm. And then in order for her to get on a cruise ship, like she had to have, like they didn't want her with the stomach flu.
We didn't follow that procedure.
We didn't follow it. No, and I know that's really bad.
We're assholes.
But we spent a lot of money to go on a cruise, and we were going to go. But it came down, one doctor was like, I don't know if she should go on a plane and then get on the cruise with how her, like the dehydration and stuff went. She did get cleared, and she was totally fine. Wasn't sick again at all. I got severely sick, and I really didn't think I was going to go. Like, I truly did not think I was going. But somehow I mustered up enough to pack the bags. I didn't get anything in those bags.
Of your own?
Of my own at all. To the point where when we landed in Florida, I had to go to Target, and I spent like $300 on all new stuff because I didn't pack anything.
Yeah.
But before we even got on the plane, we opened the door, and his mom was taking us to the airport, and Baymax darted out of the door, which is our dog, and was gone. And we are running late because I am sick. I didn't know if I was going to go. We had to be at the airport 30 minutes ago, and now Baymax is gone, and we had this contemplation of, like, do we go and hope somebody finds the dog for us, or do we potentially miss our plane and search for this dog? And there's no way we would have left Baymax. Like, we were going to miss the flight.
There's no way
what happened.
You would have.
But
I was ready to.
I couldn't run. Like, I was still sick.
No, I was
what still throwing up that morning.
I had ran after him, and luckily he ran between 2 houses that had a fence. And I just so happened, what it was there was a dog out in someone's backyard. He had somehow heard the dog, ran there to bark at the dog. I'd cornered him, and then he just laid down.
Yeah.
Picked him up, put him back in there.
I was so relieved. Your mom was so mad. Like, she was fuming because she felt really bad for us. And I know that she had been running after Baymax too, and the kids were bawling. It was the perfect disaster. So we get to the airport, and everybody is fine, and we go, and we had a great time. And really, that was it for the cruise. Because, well, other than the night that it was choppy, but like that happens. The cruise, honestly, I would highly recommend going on.
I'm ready to go on another one.
It was by far the best family vacation that we've ever been on, as far as experiences and customer service and the whole thing. It was just great.
The service was...
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So then there's that vacation wrapped up in a nutshell. And then we have Colorado. Like, our family is ill, apparently. Like, we're just an ill-ridden family. Because we go up to, Andrea gets married, and apparently this is a theme in our family, that we like to invite our entire family on our honeymoons. Because Andrea and Mike get married, and we go to Colorado for their honeymoon, all of us. And we didn't acclimate. So we went straight to Breckenridge, at a house up in the mountains.
And we were pretty high. We were pretty high up.
Yeah.
I mean, you could feel the air in your lungs.
Yeah, or the lack of air in your lungs, and everybody had a hard time breathing, I think. But Jack, this poor kid, just took it in and could not handle it. We didn't do anything. Like, we could not do anything because this kid couldn't breathe. My mom ordered like apparently this happens so often that they have mobile units that drive around oxygen machines and deliver them to the houses that you're staying in. Huh?
Like the first night we arrived, do you remember that?
Yeah, you drank one beer and you were like...
No. I'm talking about the shit that happened with the house.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
So, we drive up there. We drive, 8 or... So we break it into 2 days. So we drive up, stay in a hotel. Second day we pull up. It's about 1 or 2 when we get there. So we get to the house. Everyone finds their room. And the first person that goes to take a shower realizes that there's 0 hot water.
Oh, that's right.
So then, they finally get it resolved at 9 or 10. The hot water is now fixed. So now we can take showers. We get there that night, and everyone pulled in to buy groceries. So we spent about $300-$400 on groceries. And the next morning we wake up, everything that was in the fridge spoiled. Turns out that the fridge was broken. So we go back to the grocery store, buy more food. Luckily, we had just came from a wedding, so we had 4 or 5 coolers.
Yeah.
So we went back to the grocery store, bought all new food, put it in the coolers while we waited for them to fix the fridge. About half the day, they say, fridge is fixed, everything's working good. So
Amy also had 7 days worth of breast milk.
Yes.
That had
all spoiled.
I
forgot about that.
Yeah.
So we don't trust it. We're like, okay, we're going to wait to make sure that it gets up to temperature. Next day, wake up, and still not working. They come out again to try to fix it.
Somebody has to be there. The maintenance company, this isn't an Airbnb. This is it's a property management company that runs all of these beautiful log homes. And my dad had to stay back each time to wait for this maintenance company to come in and change out the water heater and fix the fridge and all this stuff. But
yeah.
And then the washing machine.
The washing machine went out?
Yeah.
That's
the
right.
washing machine didn't work.
Because I forget about this. When I tell the story to people, I forget about the washing machine. And then we're all dying because, like you said, I drank a beer and felt like complete crap. But not everyone. Jack is struggling from altitude sickness, so your mother gets a oxygen machine.
Yeah,
so we're all,
which helped.
Yeah.
But not enough.
We're all looking like smokers in Prairie Meadows with the oxygen mask, huffing and puffing. But I mean, there were times that like things that I remember that were great in between all that crap was when it started to snow, out into on the mountains.
Yeah.
You could see the snow coming down.
But it was still nice outside. It was so crazy.
It looked beautiful.
It was beautiful. I think by day 3 now, or 4, we were concerned because Jack was gray. He was
But you remember when we'd go down, so we'd come down from the house, it would be a little bit less altitude. And he'd be doing okay. Not great, but he'd be doing okay.
Like, but we couldn't go horseback riding or do any of the activities we had planned.
Yeah, we had all these things
He couldn't even go shopping.
Yeah.
So, like, without feeling super weak, or he didn't eat for 3 straight days.
No.
Was hardly drinking. It just was, the poor kid. So I remember my mom buying a pulse ox, and my mom is a doctor, but she bought a pulse ox to check his oxygen level, and it got low enough to where she was like, all right, you guys got to go to the hospital. And so we took him to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I remember them running, like, they thought his appendix burst.
Ended up, because we were in Breckenridge, we almost took an ambulance from...
No, they were going to life flight him to
Denver.
Denver.
They were going to do an ambulance.
They called the helicopter and the child's surgeon in Denver to make sure that they were available.
I didn't know they were going to
No, they were going to life flight him
thought
from
they were just
Breckenridge
gonna
to Denver. And
they did a CAT scanner. They did some kind of scan, realized that it wasn't his appendix.
Yeah.
Pumped him up with fluids. We took him home. He was doing fine in the ER. But as soon as we got home that night, stuff started getting worse again.
Yeah.
So that next morning, we decided, hey, we're going home. So you, me, Jack, and Sadie, and your parents loaded up the rental, and we decided to go home. And then that night, as we were, we'd stopped in
Denver.
Did we stop?
Yeah, we got into Denver, and that must have been low enough for him to.
Oh yeah, he was doing great.
Like, then he was fine.
He was eating 100%, Burger King out of business.
He ate like 2 adult chicken finger meals, and like kid ate enough for 3 days.
But that night we'd called back, and Matt and Amy were loading up because they were these they looked like cockroaches. Ended up not being cockroaches.
They're like silver.
Yeah, but they looked like cockroaches. Bugs. So then Matt and Amy packed up.
I totally forgot about that.
And they'd left. So it was just a shit show.
Yes. So that's Colorado trip. That was nuts. That whole trip. It sucked because we went up there and we did not do anything. Like, we shopped. And then, like, me and my sisters went on one hike.
Yeah.
And that was it. Because Jack was... I felt
we were going to go horseback riding. We were going to go... what are the little carts that take you up? And
I don't even know.
We had so much stuff planned.
Yeah. I felt so bad for him. And now, to this day, he does not... Anytime we talk about, like, let's go back to Colorado, like, let's do that as a family vacation, Jack freaks out. He's like, no, I don't want to go there. The place makes me sick.
Yeah. But Sadie wants to go. Yeah. She's all about it.
Sadie wants to move there. She loved it. But
yeah,
I just think it was too high. We didn't acclimate. That's what they say anyway.
I think if we went back, Denver would be...
high enough?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it would be perfect for us. But we even had people there that were locals that said, you got to give it a day or two to kind of ease into it. But we went from...
We didn't know.
Iowa
to Breckenridge.
Breckenridge.
Yeah, we did, because we stopped in Nebraska.
Don't be talking about Nebraska.
I'm just saying. We stopped in Nebraska. So we went from flat to flat-er to high altitude.
Those are fighting words.
Whatever. So the last vacation we said we were going to talk about is Vegas. In Vegas, we went with Fantastic Four. And that was
the Fantastic
Four. And it was so much fun. But we went, it was the last night, or the night before the last, we went to a show. And I can't even remember what it was called. Do you remember what it was called?
I don't
either. But anyway, it's just like one of their famous shows. And I remember saying to Casey, Matt, and Vicky that I said, I just want you guys to know I'm part of the show. So when they call my name, don't be surprised or alarmed. I'm always in these Vegas shows. And I don't know, I said something cocky and stupid like that. And then we get there, and we're sitting up front because Vicky always gets awesome tickets. And I am literally getting wet from them kicking water
Yeah.
and like
Wait, we were right. Like, here's our table.
yeah,
Stage.
right there. And then an act comes out where it's this guy. He's not like a.
It was throughout the whole show, though.
Yeah, he was the host of it.
He was the host.
And he doesn't talk. He just does these actions in between each act, because there's several different, like they had acrobatics and then people dancing in water and this plate spinning guy, and your memory is so much better than mine and you're not helping me.
They had the where they were on, and I can't explain it. They
Just
were
all
like
these
on like
acts.
ropes where they
Yeah.
like some pretty jacked men and women.
Yes. And very talented people.
Yes.
And in between the time, this host was like had this.
He played like a nerdy.
Yeah, he was very like he had slick back hair and glasses and suspenders, and he pretended to like hurt his
Finger, his head.
hang on, he pretended to hurt his finger, and then like he went around trying to find somebody to kiss it, and then he had me kiss his finger, and then he went back up to the stage and he hurt his head, and then he came back down and had me kiss it, and then he went back up stage and hurt something else.
His crotch.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
a nicer way of saying it. And then came over and like jokingly tried to have me kiss it. It was the most awkward thing. Yeah, it was the most awkward thing ever.
It was awesome.
I don't remember what else he had me do, but I just remember like I was embarrassed that like he
And then he took off the mask and makeup
yeah
and ended up being a very attractive guy.
yeah he was.
And you could have kissed the crotch of an attractive guy.
That's gross. I don't remember, but I just thought it was hilarious that I said that I was going to be a part of the show, and then I ended up being a part of the show.
It was pretty ironic.
Yeah. Anyway, so those are a lot of our vacations in a nutshell. I feel like obviously we have more of a great time than we don't, but we always have something like funky or weird that happens that always just makes like our vacation stories that much better.
We have some good stories.
Yeah. If you guys have any good stories, you'll have to let us know, because then we won't feel like we're alone in our vacation craziness.
We can't be the only ones to have disasters happen.
Yeah, not just disasters, but just crazy, like weird, such bizarre things happen. Anyway, you've stuck it out with us for this long. I have no idea how many minutes it's been, but that has been a couple of our vacation fiascos. And I feel like the next episode that we have will be a little bit more productive. Casey's going to talk to you guys about the 5 rules to live by.
Tune in next time.
I didn't do it this time.
Bye.
Bye.